Welcome. My name is Susan, and today is day 6 of my challenge by spirit to show up in front of the camera with no editing, no scripting, just being my most authentic self. This is my coming out as the authentic self. I think anybody who comes to this channel, most likely you're having a spiritual awakening or a Kundalini awakening, and so you can relate to, if I tell you I've been living a double life for the past 9 years of my Kundalini awakening. And if you can't quite understand what I'm saying by that, I mean that I've been living undercover in the shadows. Definitely in the shadows. So much shadow work, right? But just hiding from people who are not awakened, hiding all of the symptoms, I think is like probably the most incognito part of awakening, is trying to hide all these symptoms from other people, because there's some crazy stuff that come up in a Kundalini awakening. And I actually made a deal with the Kundalini goddess when I first started my awakening, and I made a deal that any Kriyas or releases that happen, that they happen in the privacy of my home and never in public. And in return for that favor, I would do all the work necessary every day and give time to releases every day and surrender and let her do her thing and just start clearing out stuff. And so that has been a really wonderful arrangement. And I did, I'll say, like, your word, especially for when you're in an awakening, your word is like a contract. So if you say you're going to do something, you're going to do it. Or else, like, for example, in the beginning, I made this deal, that I would do the work. And so one day I wanted to go out for a walk on the beach, and I made the deal that I'm going to walk for, like 20-minute walk, and then as soon as I get back, I'll do the releases. Just let me have this 20-minute walk. And so I went out for the walk, and it was a beautiful day, and it felt so wonderful being out of the beach. And I decided, just add like 10 more minutes to my walk. But sure enough, at the 20-minute mark, the releases started coming up, and I was just like spinning, and I could hardly even walk. I'm like hanging onto poles along the walkway and trying to get back to my apartment as quickly as I could to be able to really surrender to these releases. And so yeah, your word is very important, and showing up when you say you're going to, very important. And also, like, a lot of the releases, I mean, you've got so many like very odd things happening that you wouldn't want to share or frighten people with, that's coming up out of you. All the Kriyas, like the body movements and frequencies and tones and vibrations and unexpressed emotion, and just all of this like purging out of you. It's a lot. and even just like trying to have a conversation with somebody that's not awake and to explain like what's happening, what's going on with you, is like, either they don't want to talk to you again afterwards, or if they do talk to you, they never bring it up. They don't even mention, oh, what's going on with this. They don't want to even go there. So, and I completely understand, like, it's so far out. If you haven't experienced an awakening, it's so far out. It's so crazy. And I would say, like, the Mother Goddess has been, thank you, so kind to me. Like, I feel like I've had a really gentle ride compared to a lot of other people that I've heard. She's been very kind to me, and so I've always tried to working with this energy and doing what I need to do. But in the beginning of my awakening, like, I had like literal screams, like full on bloody crazy screams coming out of my body. And for about 2 months, like every day I was releasing like an hour, 2 hours of full on screaming, bloody murder, screaming at the top of my lungs coming out of my body. So that was like the most probably challenging in my double life, trying to find a place where I could let that express itself. And so what I ended up doing is just I would get into my vehicle and drive, and anytime when there were no cars around me, I would just start screaming. And so every day I would have to go for these long drives, and just, you stop at a light and you have to be quiet. Did anybody hear that? I hope not. Like, I don't want people like calling the police on me, like some crazy woman in her car screaming her head off. And sometimes I would park at the park, and if there was nobody around, just scream as much as I could. And it was really difficult, because if I didn't release it or let it out of my body, I felt like I was going to explode. And it's not one of those things that you want to, if you don't release it by choice, like, it's going to come out on its own. So, like, you don't want to be like at the grocery store or at the post office and all of a sudden you've got screams coming up out of your body. Like, it's yeah, you probably be hauled off somewhere. So that was really challenging. And for probably the last 6 months, or the last 6 weeks of that, I ended up moving to the countryside of Japan. So it's been a lot less stressful. I was living in Los Angeles prior to that, and so trying to find a place where you can let out a scream in the middle of the city, it was challenging. And here in the countryside, there's less people around, and I don't have to stress out as much about what's coming up and out of me. So there's all that. Yeah, so I think at some point you will come out of hiding. It's taken a long time for me. I've attempted to come out of hiding quite a few times. Each time I felt like, like I had too much ego, like there wasn't the authenticity that I can speak with now. And so I feel like now is a good time to like come out of hiding and and be my true self, and not have to worry about what other people think. It's okay if I don't think people that aren't having an awakening are gonna even come to this channel. So yeah, I still I'm a little bit I'm authentic showing up with other people that I communicate with. And I've tried to explain, but even like here in Japan, like it's just like different ideas in different language. It's really hard to explain it to people. Even the idea of meditation, like zazen, they understand, but like, yeah, it's complicated. So I don't talk about it. I don't talk about it much. Explaining to people, my chakras are open. They're like, huh? What's that? So anyway, yeah, I'm hoping to, I guess, find my tribe. Not that I need it. Like I've never felt really lonely going through this awakening. I have felt, in the beginning, I felt, a lot of frustration with not being able to share what I was going through with people. Although I guess I could have made videos, which I did at some point, but I always ended up deleting them because, again, ego. I didn't like it coming into my videos, and so just deleted things that I did in the past. So anyway, here I am. Here I am coming out. So anyway, thanks for listening to my little ramble here today. And I hope you have a great day. And I hope if you are going through an awakening, I hope the Holy Mother is going easy on you, but you're making progress and getting through it day by day. So anyway, thanks for showing up here, and I'll see you next time. Bye.